Today we're speedrunning through Snail Bob 3, another great game about being a snail and doing some puzzles. And the story behind this game is pretty simple. Basically, our grandpa shows us that he has a time machine. So I mean, that's pretty cool. He shows me all about it, even though he's not able to use it. But because I'm Snail Bob, I can for some reason use it, and that happens. So I get sucked in, and that's where the story starts. Yeah, this is gonna be a good speedrun. But before we get too far into solving snail puzzles, I need to tell you that this video is sponsored by Dragon City. Dragon City is a free-to-play game and is available on Android, iOS, and PC. The gameplay is centered around collecting the game's thousands of dragons so you can build your own dragon empire. But how can you do this, you may be asking? Or this statement is just kind of awkward. Anyways, you can either buy beginning dragons to start you out, or get two dragons together to breed a brand new one. And trust me, there's some funny looking dragons in this game. Along with the questionable dragons, there are a lot of cool YouTuber ones too. The one that personally caught my eye was the George Not Found one. Just look at that face. Then you can take your favorite dragons and train them in totally ethical battles to make them more powerful, which in turn will help you get better at the game's PvP modes. Finally, there are several events every single week and a brand new battle pass to make sure you always have something to work for. So if you want to start playing, make sure to click the link in the description to get the special free reward of 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the Space Being Dragon. Thank you Dragon City for sponsoring the video, and now let's start the speedrun. So we can start our speedrun as soon as we click on the first level, and right away we can see that Snail Bob is trying to hold on for his life, but he doesn't have good grip strength, so now he's in Egypt. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting scenario he's in. But of course, our job is going to be solving all of the different puzzles and making sure that Snail Bob is able to make it home. So that will be the first level, and like for most puzzle games, the first few levels are going to be pretty simple, just because they have to introduce the different game mechanics, all that sort of stuff, like stopping Snail Bob, turning him around so he's able to go in the other direction, and pressing different buttons using levers, all that type of stuff. But as we get on to later levels, more interesting game mechanics are going to be a part of this game. I mean, for right now, we have these bouncy pads, and I mean, those are pretty cool. Snail Bob is finally able to fly. He's always wanted to be able to do that. And for this one, now we have lasers, which if the lasers touch us, they will easily murder us, so we have to make sure that doesn't happen. But they can also push Snail Bob further in a scenario like that. For this one, we're going to have this boulder drop down. We can push it, so then it's going to hit that cart. We're going to then use this frog to move that over there, get on the cart, and then finally we can drop Snail Bob down to the bottom and he will make it to the end of the stage. And here's where the game kind of gets a little bit morbid, because we're killing Snail Bob. Or I don't know if we're actually killing him, but we are turning him into a rock multiple times. So the old Snail Bobs can press the buttons and then we can make a new one. Yeah, not exactly sure if he's dead, but he might as well be. Now for this, I want to make sure we get this boulder first so it's able to press that button, and then Snail Bob can come through, use all the different bridges that we created earlier on, and yeah, it's a pretty easy level. Now here's where things start getting really interesting, because we want to use these frogs more, and we want to make sure that Snail Bob doesn't die from this fire. I mean, obviously, pretty much this entire game is just please don't kill Snail Bob. But then we have these moving platforms, and we kind of just have to wait here. There's nothing we can really do to speed it up, so I'm just gonna drop him, wait for these platforms to finally come by until Snail Bob can make it to the exit, and that's going to be level 8 done. And here's where the morbidness comes back, because of course we're using this thing where we're going to turn the old Snail Bob into a stone and just create a new one. I really feel like this is not very ethically sound, but who cares about ethics when you're a snail? Now that is going to be another exit. We have this one where we're going to want to use this magnet to help Snail Bob get through. We have to use it one more time so we can lift it up there, drop it one more time, and he can make it down to the exit. Here's where there are also going to be these, so we can lift up that platform using these reflectors that will reflect the laser until we can finally make it to the end. Another easy level for Snail Bob. Now here's where it really gets interesting, because we have something that really wants to kill Snail Bob. You can see in the top right corner there's something that's going to grab him and then try to eat him, which is terrifying, but we have to make sure that doesn't happen. This level isn't too hard to make that happen, but the other ones are a bit harder. Also, I messed up my punch again. Okay, please Snail Bob, just make it to the end. That was the punch I was going for. That one is way too specific, so I don't know why that's a thing, but we finally got it, and now we can move on to this this level where we're gonna have a little bit of a platform that we have to move through, and some more of these guys who are trying to eat my poor dude Snail Bob. I can just make sure that that doesn't happen, move this platform a little bit down, and then finally Snail Bob can pretty much just go all the way through. There's going to be this thing which is gonna try to breathe fire on him, but that's easy to deal with, and he can finally make it to the exit after that. And yeah, another level done. Now it's time to move back to the morbidness because for this one we have to use this whole mechanic where Snail Bob's gonna turn into a stone again, and we just get a brand new one. I'm just wondering, does he keep his soul? Is he the exact same person, or is this just a completely different snail that we're calling Snail Bob? Really, what is the lore of Snail Bob? I would really like to know, but that doesn't matter for now. Level 14 is done. We only have a few left, including this one where there's going to be a laser which is trying to kill my boy Snail Bob, but we can help him make it through. And this level is actually one of the coolest ones in the game because you can see this little strategy. He's going to drop off right there, make it to the green portal, go through the fish, and then he can bonk off a couple more things, and it is just insanely fast. We did it really well. Now for this one, we want to set up a couple platforms to make sure that Snail Bob can make it through. This one is not bad at all. We can also see play Snail Bob too, so that's pretty cool. But then here's where a really interesting level comes into play because we have a bunch of different lasers which we can turn only one off at a time. So we have to make sure that we have the right one off so Snail Bob doesn't die. That's pretty much this entire game. Just try your best to make sure that Snail Bob doesn't die from lasers or the millions of things that are trying to kill him. Now for here, we're going to want to make sure that one ant can go through and have that. It's going to cause some electricity. Then two more can go through. I accidentally let three through, but that's fine because we can still make it through. I almost just died there. That would have been really bad. But now we're on to the second to last level. For here, we want to make sure that Snail Bob is not going to die to these electric things or the lasers. Turning that lever on and off, make sure that different things go on and different things go off. So I just have to make sure that everything works out and our dude is not able to die. So we can finally make it through that point, and it's time for the boss fight. So for the boss fight, we have this guy. I don't really know what his problem with us is, but we actually have a cool strategy where I'm going to have him do that soon. So now he makes it to the end. Usually you have to take more time to do that. It's kind of hard to explain, but we're pretty much just able to make it to the end. We use a mirror to reflect his electricity beam, and it finally kills him, so we can make it and go pretty much beat him up. Yeah, dude, I don't even know what your problem with me was. I've never met you in my life, but we took care of him and we make it through the portal, finishing out our speed run. You can see our grandpa is very sad, but we finally come back and he's like, wow, Snail Bob, I don't know how you even made it back. Also, is his museum like closed? Why do all the art exhibits have nothing on them? Oh, it's because it's for Snail Bob 1 and Snail Bob 2. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. But now our grandpa will mess with the genie lamp. Unfortunately, the genie just kind of doesn't come out, but hey, at least it's a cool souvenir. And now if we look on speedrun.com, we will see that we actually got first place. Well, kind of. See, the thing about the version of Snail Bob 3 that I played was it only had 20 levels, but the world record actually has 25. Now, I wasn't able to find this version of Snail Bob 3 for the life of me, and I'm pretty sure that's because we don't really have Flash anymore, so yeah, that's kind of a thing. But hey, I got world record in my version of Snail Bob 3, so I'm gonna take it. If you are interested though, here are the things that we missed. First of all, there's this genie level where we turn into a rat. Yeah, this is a very interesting level, but the genie's basically gonna have us get different things, and yeah, I'm actually kind of disappointed we didn't get to do that one. In the next one, we actually lose our shell and become whatever that thing is, but I mean, I guess that's a pretty cool level. And we unfortunately missed literally the greatest level of all time where we could have been on a magic carpet ride. Really disappointed about that one. One where we have to stuff ourselves in a fridge because a heat storm or something like that is happening, and this one where you can't really see too many things, so you have to use the light to your advantage and finish out the level. So I am pretty disappointed that I wasn't able to find this version, but hey, I'll at least take my world record. But I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, check out my other videos. I do a lot of cool content on this channel, so if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy my others, and if you do, subscribe. And finally, one last shout out to Dragon City. Sponsors like Dragon City really help with making sure I can get everything done, so I really appreciate it. So if you are interested, make sure to click the link in the description for 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the space being dragon. But enough shilling. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you next time.